Hi, I'm Bud. Welcome to Kimber's Kingdom, the home of everything Kimba the White Lion. On this channel, I'm hoping to connect with fellow Kimba fans like you, so if there's something you'd like to see more of, or less of, let me know in the comments. I want to make the best videos I can for you guys. Today we'll be reviewing the 4th episode of Kimba the White Lion, Great Caesar's Ghost. This episode is awesome in my opinion, a really strong entry in the series, on par with the first two. The central idea of the episode is great. Kimber's beliefs are at odds with his father's for the first time, and Kimba questions whether he's really doing the right thing. His heart tells him not to let the creatures of the jungle kill the farm animals, but the other animals, after being intimidated by Samson, want to stick to his father's policy and destroy them. The fact that Kimba genuinely thinks the other animals disagree with them and doesn't realize they're just scared of Samson is adorable. It really highlights his overly trusting nature. The idea that the animals might not express their true feelings when asked didn't even cross his mind, which is just adorable. You could really feel Kimber's pain in this episode too. The way he was simultaneously saddened that these 3 animals might die, confused and bewildered as to whether his beliefs were wrong after all, and ashamed that he feels he isn't living up to his father's great legacy. It's impressive that the writers and animators were able to convey such complex and specific feelings so naturally. A less skilled writer might just oversimplify it and just show Kimba being sad, or might dump a lot of exposition on us and have Kimba plainly state everything he's feeling, both of which would have lessened the emotional impact. But this episode handles it perfectly, by first framing the episode as being about how Kimba compares to his father. Samson verbally compares Kimba to his father before the main conflict is even introduced. Then having Kimba reveal his feelings not with a long monologue but through his expression and pose and through brief statements that reveal part of what he's feeling, allowing us, the audience, to piece it together ourselves. This is a lot more effective than saying it outright because it's more natural. It's like talking to a friend when they're upset. They don't reveal everything at once, so you have to kind of piece together what they're upset about. And by making Kimba the same way, we're encouraged to relate to him and empathize with him like a friend. And I really did empathize with him in this episode. I just wanted to give him a hug and tell him he's doing a good job and that I believe in him. This episode really got to me, in case you couldn't tell. The way this episode's subplot is weaved in with the primary plot is also brilliant. Because the hunters have come to the jungle looking for the farm animals, the two plots are connected so it doesn't feel like a distraction from the main story, and the audience don't feel annoyed like they often do when you cut to a subplot in a film or TV show. Just look at Canto Bight in The Last Jedi for an example of how not to do this. Anyway, the strong introduction to the subplot is followed up by Polly, Bucky and Daniel stealing Caesar's hide from the hunters in an effort to comfort Kimba. Yet again, the subplot is a direct result of the main plot, and its outcomes directly affect the main plot. In this case, Kimba's friend's actions prove to him, in a bit of a roundabout way, that the animals do believe in him and his ideas after all, and gives him the courage to stick to his beliefs. And the subplot and the main plot both converge on the same conclusion. Kimba and the animals defeat the hunters, and in doing so, Kimba convinces Samson and the others to put their trust in his ideas of peaceful cooperation between animals. I just think it was clever how the two plot threads were weaved together so well. So many shows just split the cast into 2 groups and then they just don't interact with each other until they come together at the end. But here the subplot and the main plot directly interact with each other, and the result is that the audience cares about both of them, and the whole episode feels less haphazard and more like it's going somewhere rather than getting sidetracked or distracted. By the way, speaking of Bucky and Polly, this episode was one of the finest moments for both characters. They were awesome in this. I loved how Polly stood up for Kimba even in the very beginning when no one else was game enough. Mad respect for him there. And Polly and Bucky putting themselves in so much danger to comfort Kimba. Yes, it was stupid, but it was so admirable. I love how, despite being comic relief characters, they're still genuinely cool, likeable individuals. Yes, they're not the brightest, but that's not their only character trait. They're also pretty brave and fiercely loyal. Polly can even be surprisingly merciless at times. I love that even the comic relief characters in Kimba are fully rounded, interesting and likeable personalities in their own right. In terms of the episode's flaws, I'm kind of in the same boat as episode 1, I really can't find any. I'm sure if I wanted I could be nitpicky and find something wrong with it, but honestly this episode is just awesome. The plot structure is solid, the emotional moments all land, and the characterization of Kimba and his friends is on point. It's just really darn good. That's all for now, fellow animals. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you won't miss a thing. If there's something Kimba related you'd like to see a video about, leave a comment. I'd love to hear your suggestions. I might look ferocious, but I don't bite, promise.